Hey everyone, I'm Darren Knight, aka Southern Momma, and welcome to another episode of the Southern Momma Podcast. I'm really excited about our guest today, folks, the one and only Jericho Robinson, everybody. How are you today?
Good, man. I'm glad to be here, man.
I'm excited to have you here. So I know that a lot of people can relate to your music. You are a songwriter, singer, and everything in between.
Yeah.
How long have you been singing and writing music?
Taking it seriously about 15 years.
15 years. Yeah. Okay, I got you. And you're all over the spectrum, right? So we're with Rehab. Are you still with Rehab?
I'm still with Rehab, the band Rehab, yeah.
I know many people can relate to the song Bartender. I really did it this time. That's awesome. I'm excited. So that was 11 years ago that song was. Right?
Actually, that was the second version of it. The first one's older than that one, yeah.
Okay,
so
good
the second version came out with Hank Jr.
Yes. Okay. You've been writing music for a while. You've been doing some things, but it didn't always start easy for you. This is the type of conversation I love. I love getting into this. So things were with you. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. You're in Nashville now, is that right?
Yeah, right outside Nashville.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Jericho. Was this easy for you? Did you have the road paved into this for you, or was this? Did we work our way to the top? Yeah. Did we start from the bottom and now we're here? How did we do this?
Not here. About here. My grandfather always played music on the porch, and my grandfather had some mental problems, and he thought everyone was out to steal his songs. So he would write new songs and only play the family like half of a song. He didn't want us to take it to Nashville.
Y'all ain't getting this song here. Yeah. We're keeping this safe. Okay.
But he loved like Merle Haggard and stuff, and then my mom always played music, and she would be, in church. And then my father and my mom got a divorce. Mom was like, I'm moving to Nashville. I'm going to be a country singer. And we moved to Nashville, and it was rough, man. We lived in a motel for a long time, and just, it was rough. Yeah,
it is. It can be sometimes, and you started from very humble beginnings. Where's Mom and them at now? They still in Nashville?
No, my mom lives in Florida, and she has a program called Lydia's House. It's a free program for women coming out of addiction.
Okay.
And so she lives in Florida on a farm, and I was noticing your birds. She's got some emus out there.
Yes.
I'm going to link y'all up, man.
Okay, so I've been wanting to get emus here at the farm. Now, I had one years ago. This guy was getting rid of this thing, and I was like, for those of you that don't know, emu it's the second cousin really to an ostrich. They're massive birds. And so I've got all kind of birds running around out here. You got here earlier today. I always like talking to the guests and kind of getting to know them before we go into this. I took you to Jack's.
Yes.
Remember this, Jack's? A free biscuit would be great. Jack's a fast food restaurant here where we come from in Alabama. So we went to Jack's, we got us a breakfast, and you were telling me a little bit about your mom's hatching some of these eggs.
Yeah. Right now she has like 6 eggs that are, she said that she can hear the birds in there pecking.
Okay, forget the music, forget your career.
Right.
Let's get down to brass tacks here. Tell me more about, no, I was kidding. So how many eggs is she incubating?
6.
She's got 6 eggs.
Yes.
She only wants to keep how many?
2.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard you say in the car. I want the other one, Mama. If you're watching, hook me up. Let's get this. I want to try to get some of these emus. I'm excited. Yeah, we got all kind of birds running around there. Any pets?
Yeah, we have a dog named Cash. He's a Labradoodle.
Yeah.
He's like a little kid. And then we have 5 ducks. Yeah.
You got 5 dogs?
No, ducks.
Ducks.
Yeah,
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I've got 5 dogs and 5,000 ducks. I don't have them all named. What kind of ducks you got?
I don't know. We just went to Tractor Supply and loaded them up. Yeah.
That's where all of ours come from. That little Timmy and Susie, they get to Tractor Supply, they get these ducks, and then a year later you end up with ducks swimming in the pool, so Mom and Dad will bring them by, and we got kids that'll come by and feed them, and I remember those are ducks, so that's cool, though. That's cool. Ducks are fun. But do you have children?
Yeah, I have 2 boys, and I got 1 little girl on the way.
Okay. So, congratulations.
Yeah.
How old are the children?
I got a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old.
The baby.
Yeah.
Baby hadn't hatched out yet.
So my wife said it's done.
It's done. No more. You ain't getting in there again. I got you. That's awesome. So I did a little bit of research on you, like I do a lot of my guests, and I seen an article, and even I think you had a short interview where you talked about how you were in a van.
Yeah, I lived in a van by the river.
You would have made Chris Farley so proud. I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking in my head I could just. Yeah. So how was that? How did that happen? Now you were doing music before then.
At that point in my life, I was working at a job in Nashville, and I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this thing, I'm going to do it for real, no matter what it takes. And so I was like, man, I'm just going to go travel anywhere I can go. If a church will let me do a song there, wherever I can go. And actually, it was their van. They gave me this van, right?
Okay.
And I didn't tell anyone.
Who was there? Who was their van? You said their van.
Oh,
Who's
Harley.
Okay, yeah, Harley. Okay, we got Harley in the studio today. Yeah. Okay.
They gave me this van, and long story to that, but they gave me this van, and I decided that I was like, I'm going to get out of this apartment I'm living in, and I'm just going to trust God. And I didn't tell anyone except for my mom. And my mom's pretty tough because, she deals with what I was telling. And she came up to see me, and I just told her, I said, hey, Mom, I just want to break the news. I'm going to live in a van for a while. And she's like, and I thought she was going to be like real sad for me. And she's like, all right, I'll buy you a sleeping blanket, just like that. She's
with it. She's leave the apartment and go live in the van.
And so I did that. And I would like to tell you that it was like amazing, but it really wasn't that fun.
I can't imagine why it wouldn't be.
But there was a 24-hour gym that was next door in that Walmart parking lot. So I would just go there and shower. I didn't work out, but I just went and showered. And that's how I lived my life. And I worked. I went, showered, and went to bed in the van.
What was going on in your life that made you, why did we leave the apartment? Well, who was there at the apartment? Was there financial situations? Were you working with an entity or doing things that you wouldn't have? What happened here? Because
I just knew that if I stayed somewhere and got comfortable, then I would just continue to stay there. And it was a good friend of mine, Jake, but I was like, man, I'm just going to trust God and just go out and do this thing. So I moved out into this van, and honestly, it was a really good time for me to just focus on myself and get down to the basics. And, And honestly, that's really where God just stripped me of everything. It was like, dude, you're really nothing. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, this is, I needed God. And I remember it was Super Bowl Sunday, and my mom texted me. It was the first text message my mom ever sent. I didn't even know she knew how to text. And out of the clear blue, she said, are you okay? It's like, midnight. And I put N-O-O-O-O-O-O exclamation mark, whatever. So she calls me, and I'm crying, like I'm bawling, crying. And she's like, what is wrong with you? And I said, I'm living in you do the heaves, I'm like,
the gasp of it. Can you make words?
I got this relationship with God, and I'm living in a van, and I just don't know what to do. And my mom's so sweet. And so she said, Jay, shut up for a second. She said, do you got a place to sleep tonight? And I said, yeah. She said, do you got something to eat? And I said, yeah. And she said, you got something to drink? And I said, yeah. And she said, then shut up and stop complaining and thank God for everything you have, because there's people that don't have what you have tonight. So I hung up and drank my juicy juice, and but like a few weeks later, I hit the road, and I haven't stopped being on the road.
That is amazing. So you humbled your surroundings, you humbled yourself, you got a new relationship with your Lord and Savior, and I'm sure it didn't take, it didn't just happen overnight. I'm sure this was something that that had to blossom in. How long were we in the van down by at the Walmart?
It lasted about a month.
Did we make any friends at Walmart?
No,
I mean, the buggy guy
didn't come by. I was terrified, like kids were going to beat on my windows, or how I would have done stuff like that. Teenagers like bust my windows out or something.
Oh my gosh!
Please don't let no one terrorize me.
Well, the good news is you can always just drove to the huddle house or something. Just pack it up and just move this out of here. I think that's awesome. So it got better from that point forward. So where do you feel like, Jericho, where do you feel like one of your biggest breaks was after that?
Just being persistent. Like, I think people get into music or anything, and if it don't blossom immediately, they give up. And it's just being persistent, and sometimes you got to get rid of what family and everyone else says and just know what you got to do and just push forward.
I agree completely. It was the same way with me. I didn't necessarily just wake up one day and be like, I think I'm gonna do comedy. I think I'm gonna try that, but it just kind of got laid in my lap, and it was really wild how it happened. But I'm like you, I didn't, when it all first started, I was used to getting a paycheck, and I knew how much I was gonna get paid a month. I knew what my bills was. I was able to, and it is scary kind of stepping on your own and doing that. And just, entertainment's very different. A lot of people, don't know that. And those that are in it and blessed in it, that's wonderful, but it's not always an easy road to that.
Right. And when you're in it, people that work a 9 to 5 don't take it like it's a normal job.
Sure.
Like oh, you get to.
You get to do whatever you want to do. Yeah. I hear that all the time. People, but you're home all week. And I'm like, I am, right? But when I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Oh, I'm gone. You know, I'm not the way it is with me, when I leave my house, I punch in right there. Yeah. And so I may, have so many shows a month, but, those are shows that if I got to fly somewhere, I'm gone for 3 days for, one show. And so, and all that. But you've also got some music out there that I really was like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were going down the road, and it was, I was like, I love it, but I just feel guilty listening to it. You know what I mean? I'm like, wish they could make Christian music like this. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to try and get my, my WAP on, like my worship, my worship and praise. You know what I mean? And just if it had that beat, and I just didn't feel like I was going to hell for listening to it, would be so awesome. And you got a song out now, and it's a Christian rap, Fly Away.
Oh yeah.
Tell me more about Fly Away. I've got my. I got my notes over here. I'm not gonna let the camera see it. It looks like a chicken shit on the paper, and I just got a toothpick and scribbled in what I wanted. It's terrible, but okay, here it is. Fly Away. Tell me what. I listened to this song last night. I listened to several songs last night. Boy, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
So any viewers out there, check it out. Fly Away. What was the inspiration behind that song? And I love the direction you're taking with the beat of the music, but you're also, you don't feel like you're going to burn in hell for the rest of your life when you listen to it.
Right. No, I remember being young, and my mom would always break my records or cassette tapes.
She sounds pleasant. Yeah. Well, you only got gum to eat? Tough shit. Get in the van and hush your mouth. She sounds glorious.
Yeah, no, she's super cool, but she'd do the ragtop on some cassette tapes back in the day.
Yeah.
But, no, I try to make music where everybody can listen to, and parents listen with their kids and not have to, let me turn this down. Yep. Or, I'll hear kids will come to show, and they're like, yeah, my mom and dad let me sing the unedited version of Bartender. I'm like, but it is what it is. And so I try to make music that everybody can listen to, but yeah, Fly Away was a cool song. Shout out to Rapzilla. That's a site that gave me that opportunity, and yeah.
Rapzilla. So I don't know how you feel, and I'm not going to ask your age, but I found that the older that I get, and I think this happens with a lot of people of entertainment, whether that be music or comedy or acting, whatever. Not everybody experiences these feelings, I don't think, but I've noticed that the older that I get, I dance the line between dirty and okay.
Right.
And that's hard for a comedian.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that can be hard for someone in your, your genre of music, especially. And so, how do you feel the same way the older you get? Do you feel like you want to put out a more positive message out there, or something that,
Yeah. And I don't I got all kind of friends in the business, whatever. That's on them. For me, I know that there was times where, I'd want to listen to stuff, but I couldn't because my mom's in the car.
Because she doesn't sound like she would like any of that music.
Yeah. And then my two little boys, I just, I think about them and stuff, and so that's really, why I do it. Yeah.
You don't want your kids to turn 16 and see their daddy dropping it down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great the direction you're taking with it. And so, what is your 5-year plan?
I just actually the last few days started a 5-year plan because Jelly Roll.
Yes.
He just got a house, and he's like, yeah, me and my girlfriend had a 5-year plan, and I was like, man, it's really good to write that down and have a plan. Yeah, I'm going to continuously put out songs every month, and the Rehab thing is great, and Danny's kind of doing his own thing. I'm doing my own thing, and I just want to be able to be successful in the field that I am in.
Absolutely.
And keep putting out music.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That is a wonderful thing. I love what you do. I love your music. But, we also have lives outside of what we like to do, and being that of our career. So what are some things, you got the kids now. What's a Saturday like when Jericho's off?
A Saturday is we live on 9 acres where we're at, so we have 2 creeks.
Okay. Kind of like we got here.
Yeah,
okay,
so we go play in the creek with the kids, and take the little ducks out.
The whole family.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then my son is obsessed with. I guess we never had that when we were younger, but we watch Saturday morning cartoons. But they like watching kids play with toys now. That's a new thing.
The YouTube.
Yes,
I've heard of this.
Yeah.
Kids making millions of dollars doing this. So he takes the toys out, he looks at them, and okay.
So he wanted to start doing his own thing, and I was like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, so I'm putting him on 12 hours a day of work. No,
get a little sweatshop, and they're like, I brought you another toy, open it up, play with it. So, show him how to put it together.
Yeah, we've been doing a little filming for him, and it's just cool, man. Just
is cool.
Yeah, being home, and that's one good thing about the whole coronavirus shutdown.
Sure.
Is just being home with family has been cool, man.
It has been. We've touched base with that on several different our podcasts. Yeah. And for our listeners that don't know, we usually try to film 3 or 4 of these in a weekend, and we'll release them once every week. And if you've been awake in the last year and not living under a rock, you're very familiar with the COVID situation. And I know that has been different for a lot of people. Like you stated, it's been very different for us, 8 months at home, but we have the kayaking thing here at the house.
Yeah.
And so I was able to work with the boys and help them out with that, and also spend more time with family. I think that in a weird way, it's kind of recharged everything.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it. I know it's done a lot of bad, but it's done a lot of good too. I feel like we live in a world, especially here in America, where we're constantly go, go, go.
Yeah.
I feel like as Americans, people work too much.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed to have this life that we have, and the time that we have off is great and wonderful. And I don't know if you can relate with me on this, but it's wonderful that we can do things that we like to do.
Yeah.
But also, it was really nice to have a bit of a break and to focus on other things.
Right.
And you mentioned your family, and I know that other people have done that too. What has that done creatively for you? Have you been able to sit at home more now and write more?
Yes,
Has there been more things come out of that?
That's been the incredible part is just like I got a home studio that I'll mess with. Then I'll go to a regular studio, but
Sure.
just trying stuff out and seeing if it works and oh, this is cool. I like this. And just being creative, because for a while there, it was really weird. Because I'm so used to being home for a few days and getting back on the road. And just being able to sit at home and be bored for a little bit.
Have you collaborated with any other artists at home? Like, have you guys Skyped, or you went to their house, they've come to your house?
Yeah, we've done some Skype sessions and, called people and did some writing like that. I work with a guy in Nashville named D-Ray, which I go to his house, and just a super talented songwriter and really unbelievable.
I know you and Jelly Roll's really tight.
No, not me and Jelly Roll.
Oh, no. Which one?
No.
Which one?
No. So D-Ray,
okay,
but he does a lot of production for Jelly Roll.
I got you. Okay, Nashville is like a melting pot of talent. I mean, we go up there, we run into. It's kind of like the little strip there in Hollywood. You see all these people that you're just used to seeing on TV, and it's so cool to have all of that together. Have you always lived in Nashville?
Between there and Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Nashville? Is it make it easier what you do? John's trying to get me up there.
It's weird, because it's got their clique, you know what I mean? And it's become the new Hollywood, like you said, and
okay,
I just never really
I got you.
fit in that.
You're like me. Yeah. I don't either. I've went, we've done things, and the 2019 with Variety magazine, went up there and got the award for that, and seen all these familiar faces online and stuff, and then seen a lot of, big actors and stuff up there, and just wasn't, I just rather be at a bonfire with my friends,
I feel like at those parties, people are putting on a show still.
They are.
And
I concur completely.
I don't like it, man. I went to, I think it was Capitol Records had an after party one night, and I went and I was just like, I just don't, I can't fake.
Sure. I know that you're doing a lot of things on social media. I know a lot of YouTube. I know that a lot of things, you have the Facebook platforms and whatnot. Do you feel that there are those that utilize those tools more than, say, those that depend solely on Hollywood or Atlanta or entities like that, wrapped up in every contract in the world? There's two different types of entertainers: those that are homegrown, or those that rely on the public more, and there's also the ones that have the funding to do things. Do you feel like those on this certain platform treat those others differently?
The ones on this platform are super jealous now of these, because they're making their own money. And they don't need this anymore, and it eats them alive. Yeah. There's a guy from...
well, I love you, by the way.
Yeah.
I love you.
There's a guy from Nashville, or outside of Nashville, Cheatham County, named Upchurch, the redneck.
Yes.
And
very familiar with Upchurch.
Killing it.
Yes, he is.
And it's eating... I know it's killing them.
They can't stand it.
They can't stand it.
And I love what you just said. I feel like I set the question up for you, and boy, did you take it. I really love what you just said, because what is really neat to me, that's what's happening on a social platform level, and I know that... politically or, with the rules and the whatever on certain, social platforms people may not agree with. But at the end of the day, most of them rely on one thing, and that is a following from people that have these pages and are part of these social groups. The beautiful thing about, I think, that what's happening today is that we don't have an aunt and uncle that's funding us, or we don't have a secret whatever group that's promoting our success.
Right.
The public chooses us. And I love that it seems like those that were once on the toppest part of the ladder are now they're knocked off, and they don't like people like us. They don't like us at all. And boy, I love it.
They hate it.
I'm just going to sip on my tea and bask in it.
They hate it. And that's the beautiful thing is, like you said before, everybody used to want to be signed. And I was just offered a solo deal not too long ago, but I'm like, there's nothing really they can offer, and I can do what I want, and I can say whatever I want to say politically. And I like that more than anything. I don't want to be told to shut up about certain things. I can't handle it.
Absolutely. I got a big mouth. I got a lot to say, and I'm glad that you feel the same, because that is the beautiful thing about our country. I feel like, Jericho, is that no matter what art you do, no matter what your profession, you still need to have your own opinions, whether they differ from mine or not. And the point that we start taking those opinions and those voices away from the people is when we're really messing up. I feel like we're living in a world where a lot of people are trying to streamline things. How do you feel about that?
It will explain to me what you mean.
Well, they want everybody to think the same. You can't say this if it goes against that. If you can't say, there's been a lot of people on social media, a lot of people have platformed, yourself, myself included, and others that we've had on the podcast and others that we have lined up. This is a big topic for them in the sense that, because, for instance, people may not agree with your genre of music. But do you not agree that it's your choice to do that music if you so choose?
See, that's the thing. Yes, exactly. And the problem is, like, let's say I go to a stand-up comedy, right?
Sure.
And I just hate the word GD. Like, it's just a word I hate. And let's say the comedian, or I'm watching TV and he says GD 4 times. I have a choice to turn it off. I don't want to get him canceled.
Right.
I'll just turn my TV off. Yeah. And it's like, if you don't agree exactly this way, then you're in trouble and we're going to hurt you. And I know I got friends that are signed and they're like, I believe like you believe, I just can't say anything. I'm like, how do you live your life like that,
I can't do that.
Why? What's the point in I don't understand that.
I feel like in entertainment right now, there's a transition happening in the sense that what happened to cell phone contracts. Used to, people were so afraid to sign up on a 2-year contract. They didn't want that obligation. Now you have the option to, prepay. You have this option to sign up for a month, 2 months, whatever. And so there's more freedoms allowed. And I think that's been one of the most beautiful things about what's happening with the social platforms and the YouTubes and the whatevers is that you have more of those freedoms. All right, switching gears here.
I was about to get riled up.
Well, it's a big topic because, it has to do with everything. We live in a cancel culture, unfortunately. If you don't like somebody, and I love what you said a minute ago about, with the cuss word and stuff, using that as an example. I feel the same way. There was a comedian here a while back that put out a special. Hadn't heard from him in a long time. Put out a special. I think it was a 3 or 4 part series. It was really good. The first 2 or 3. But the last 2, I wasn't a big fan of.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the first 3 over again.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't, just because I didn't support what this person was saying the last 3 or 4, doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy a lot of the comedy, So I agree completely with what you're saying when it comes to that and having the freedoms to say things that you want to say. All right, so talk to me. Is there anything else that you want to touch base on?
Yeah, so when we were going to the Get a Biscuit, you were talking about you used to work at Sears Loss Prevention.
I did.
I would have loved to see that.
You wouldn't have wanted to see that. If you can imagine all 130 pounds of this running after somebody, I was your guy. I've told that to people on stage. I really enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I did it for about 9 years, actually. I was with Sears and Roebuck for 6 years, the last 6 years. And before I left that company, I was a loss prevention manager. I was a hatchet man over a lot of the stores in South Lake District. If they seen me coming in, it was going to be a bad day for somebody. But I don't know. I liked it because I was selling cars. I did that for about 3 or 4 years. Yeah. And then the recession hit, 07, 08, nobody's really buying anything. And I didn't know what I was going to do. So my brother-in-law, I was with him at a get-together, whatever, and his aunt was a loss prevention manager at the Walmart. Okay. And he was like, well, look, she's looking for somebody, whatever. And so I went, I did it. And at first I was like, what the hell am I doing? And about the 6th week, they had me going to other stores training people. It gets your heart racing. Yeah. You're sitting there watching somebody and you're like, are they going to do this? And then they get behind the aisle and they'll look around and you hear their package. I can to this day, I can hear a package open 6 miles away. I know what's happening.
What's the biggest thing you saw someone steal?
Well, this guy we just rolled out a generator right out of Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, they go in with a buggy and they, because a lot of times, when you're rolling, that's what it looks like anyway, and they'll have just some kind of a receipt,
Yeah.
And I watched them go right by the door, and of course the lady's like, can I take a receipt? And she's hobbling over there, and she's dragging her oxygen tank behind her, bless her heart, and he just kind of throws up the receipt, and she's like, yeah, sure, and he goes right out the door, and so I went and got him on that. We got a manager, we got a manager one time at Sears in Atlanta, rolling out, she would wait for closing time, and she was rolling out washing machines and dryers out the back door.
Wow.
So, yeah, I think she's in prison now. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I wish I had the plug for that.
I did too. Hey, have you crossed the damn refrigerator?
Right,
Holy shit. I turned my badge in. Where are you at? No, you ever done anything like that? Any kind of work like that?
No, I used to work at Walmart and...
Did you really? You're a fellow Walmart employee?
Yeah, man.
Boom, nuts, brother. Yeah. Walmart, boom.
I'll tell you a funny story. Remember when they started making everybody show your receipts when you walked out? Well, this lady was in line, and I rang her up. It was like $100-some worth of whatever furniture. And I forgot to get the money from her, right? Mm-hmm. We were talking, and so she goes to the front, and the lady's like, hey, I need your receipt.
Yeah.
And she's like, she was offended. I paid for this, and she thought she had. And I went over there and said, hey, she paid for it. I seen it. She just came through my line. Yeah. So she gets out, and I go look, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, man. And luckily, that lady turned around and came back, and she said, if you hadn't stood up for me at that door, I'd have just left. So she saved me from my job. I've never been good at any kind of job like that. Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Thank God for drunk people and the microphones because, no, I'm just kidding. Not everybody at our show's drunk. But they, because it took me a long time to find my niche.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but it took me a long time. I did everything from stock shelves to bartend to sell cars. I mean, I might have not, been a lot lizard at a truck stop a couple times.
I used to work at a phosphate mine in Florida. Those are big.
What is that?
It's not underground, right? It's above ground mines. Okay. And I would be over the trains, right? And so let me tell you this crazy story about my train situation. All right. So trains are, some people think trains are steering wheels. It's just like forward, back, and air brakes. Well, I was the conductor that lined up all the tracks to go. And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was like a late shift. Anyways, I knocked the train over with 13 cars.
Whoa! Slow down here. Wait a minute. We got to get back. So you're not talking about like taking little rocks, like little wagon sized train. You're talking about like an actual train.
Yeah.
Tell me this, and I want every detail because you just said knock the train over.
Yeah. So
you have my full attention.
So we would do 12 hours on. So it'd be 12-hour days. Right? Okay. So we do 2 days that were nights. We're off 2 days and then 3 days day. Okay. So you're constantly, your sleep patterns totally exhausted. Screwed up. So that's why I'm using this as an excuse, but I'm setting it up. So it's like
I'm just wondering if there's any law enforcement watching this right now. They know who knocked the train. Go.
No, I got in bad trouble for that. So
I can't imagine
it was like
why.
3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. And the driver's like, hey, go set the track. And I said, okay. So I go think I set the track and come on down. Yeah, we're good to go. Come on. And all of a sudden I hear, and then it just goes like in slow motion.
Jericho.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How many of the carts tilted over?
I think 13 or 14. Yeah. Full of phosphate.
Is this a true story?
Oh, it's true. Yeah. And that wasn't the only thing I did out there. I didn't stay there too long.
My. Yeah. What did you do when you heard like, boom, boom?
Oh, I was worried about the driver mostly.
Sure, of
course.
I was
going to go to prison.
God bless his soul. Let's back up here. I don't mean, so what is involved in fixing the track here? How old were you at the time? They just let anybody go over here and fix the track?
No, I was an adult.
People in the studio right now are just holding their head laughing like, I'm very concerned right now.
No, it was a phosphate mine I worked for, and CSX cars would bring their engines in, and all their cars. So you connect the couplings and make sure the bottoms are not open so the phosphate don't leak out, right? Okay. And so it's like, imagine every car being full of sand, but where we were at was phosphate, which is, very expensive stuff. And so they had to bring in cranes and to get him back on.
You'd have to still be working there for free to pay off this damage, basically. Yeah.
The sad thing was they were sure I was on drugs, but there was no drugs in my body. And they're there's no way this dude did this sober.
The driver was okay. Nobody was hurt.
Yeah, they had to pry the seat out of his behind because I think it was clinched so tight when it fell over.
Did you lose the job after that?
No.
What?
Yeah, no.
Oh my God almighty.
Now, if I'd have been on drugs or something, I would have been fired.
I don't give a shit if you were on drugs or not. I would have fired you yesterday of that. So you kept your job.
Yeah, and then, so I'll tell you
what a really nice boss you have.
No, it was because they felt like having to train people over would be more expensive but they learned real quick.
Fixing an entire railroad?
They learned that it was the opposite with me. So we had this big chute, almost as big as this room that would dump phosphate into the cars, you know?
Okay.
So one night, I'm sure it was 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to say that again. And I hit it with the train because you had to drop it and then pull it back up. And I hit it and ripped it out and phosphate went everywhere. But the maddest they got about me was I wrecked a company truck because I went to we had bathrooms that we weren't allowed to use and I didn't want to use the regular bathrooms. So I wrecked the truck like I had to crap and I ran it into a pipe and I jumped out and I messed up the truck and you would have thought I would have flipped every train there. But hey, when IBS happens, dude, you got to get to a bathroom immediately. So
it wasn't flipping 13 cars and then spilling thousands of dollars worth of phosphate. That wasn't the kicker. It was
the truck.
It was the truck going
this old
shit happens.
Yeah, beat up truck, and they were probably like, "This is it. This is it."
You know what? You wreck all the trains you want to. Yeah. You know what? You spill all the phosphate you want to, but you will not wreck this 18-year-old utility truck.
So, and actually, even through that, they didn't fire me. I quit. I told them I was going to pursue music. I told them I was going to pursue music. I've never seen someone encourage me so much to do music as they did. So.
Who runs this company?
Man,
boy, I tell you.
No, it's it's crazy. I don't want to put them out there like that, but it's a top-notch company. But the guy was in there because we had a union, so the union rep's like, dog, man, this is kind of hard. You know what I mean?
I'm glad that fire went out.
The union rep's trying to rep me, but he was like, man, come on.
Jericho.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So he's in there, like, they're cussing me out. And I just was like, hey, man, I'm going to pursue music, man. I'm out of here. And they're like, they were happier than anyone.
Oh, my gosh.
They're probably still supporting me.
Did your daddy own the company or something?
No.
What?
He would have fired me a long time
ago. Oh, my
that.
gosh. Man, I tell you, well, I'm glad that your career went the way that it did now. I'm glad you're doing music. It's hard to recover from a story like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like somebody might have died back down there.
I think they're still
This was in Florida?
Recovering financially, yeah.
I bet that they are still recovering financially. Outside of that, any other crazy jobs? What was another? That I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be really hard to top that one.
Shout out to Bill Risco. I moved to Nashville and they had this ad, do you want to sell concert tickets? And I was like, yeah,
Of course I do.
Inspiring, yeah.
I woke up thinking, how could I sell concert tickets?
But it was really, you call people and, hey, this is the Nashville firefighters calling to donate money. And we would sell a concert ticket and people would, tell you their life story and why they can support you financially. And so it was good.
You got to meet folks.
You got to meet people a lot on the phone and it got me over being embarrassed, and because you got turned down a whole lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's hard to take sometimes.
Sometimes, but yeah.
Did you sell a lot of tickets?
Yeah, I did pretty good. Did
you sell as many tickets as maybe you would have sold? Was it phosphate?
No, I didn't sell that many. I finally, that's the last job I had when I was like, all right, I'm doing this music thing for real. So
you're a breath of fresh air. You really are. And I want to tell you something. For the viewers that don't know, today we're facing some inclement weather here in the state, and I felt like I was a little off my game before this podcast started. You really took control of this situation. I want to thank you for that. You have been one of my favorite interviews ever.
Are you hiring at Big Bang?
I'm hiring a bank. You know what? And I don't think that we have any train cars that we need you to run or anything like that. But I would definitely love to have you under our umbrella. You are a breath of fresh air. I love what you're doing with your music. I love that you're incorporating a clean version of it. I love that you dance on both sides of the fence with that. And I love that you have the family. I'm so excited for you. I love that you told us the story about your very humble beginnings, and I can assure you that you're not alone in that.
Yeah.
I think that you have amazing blessings coming your way, Jericho. I think you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You already are in the music industry. I want to thank you so much for your time and sitting with us today. I hope this is not your last time here. And for a lot of those that don't know, you're staying the night with me tonight.
Yes, yeah.
You and we're shooting a music video. I can't wait to do that with you. I don't want to give any more details out, so y'all have to stay tuned. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you, man.
Jericho Robinson, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm Darren Knight, a.k.a. Southern Momma. This is the Southern Momma Podcast. Y'all, please don't forget to feed them chickens. Tell your mama and them we said hey, and God bless.